Hello, everyone. I wanted to come in really quick. We have Mind Body TV coming up in a half an hour, but I wanted to share a piece outside of that about one thing I've found to be really important with strength and power and manifestation and self-healing and the really central core of that was depicted really well in a movie that I want to share about. And it's about, for me, I always share about increasing your frequency, right? Being in a higher consciousness. But that kind of becomes about trying to get somewhere, trying to get better, trying to improve. And so then we're on this journey that's actually contracting instead of expansive. And then we're also on a journey to get somewhere else, thinking that where we are, we can't access the power. And that's not true. And so in the movie Mulan, which you may have heard about, and if you have kids, you may have seen, it's a really good movie, like for adults. They remade it in it's not the animated version, it's like real people, and it's an incredible movie, and it's so well done. And one of the things she learns is that the power, the chi, the life force, they talk about that a lot in the movie, that the chi is strong with that one. In China, she's a girl, and so she's not supposed to be strong with the chi and be a warrior. She's supposed to be, very subdued and gentle and pouring the tea and have this role. But her life and her calling, call her into something different. And so she pretends to be a boy and goes off to fight when they're called to war. And because, and she's super powerful and has like the most amazing warrior. But there's a point where she meets this adversary and who points out, you'll always be limited because you're hiding the truth. You're hiding who you are. And she gets, defeated and realizes she's not in her full power. And it's not until later when she comes into truth. She has to end up revealing that she's a girl. And she, they almost they exile her, but then she comes back. It's a great story. Anyway, the point is, when she's living in truth, the chi is moving fully and freely, and she has all of her strength and all of her power, and she ends up doing the unthinkable for her country. And it's a great lesson because we don't in the East think about energy and chi. It's basically left out completely from the medical perspective, but that doesn't mean it's not true or that it's not a very powerful way to understand the body and our energy system and healing. And so when we are not in the alignment of truth and integrity, meaning maybe I'm pretending to be someone I'm not, or I'm making myself do this job even though I hate it, instead of honoring my emotions and maybe letting that guide me into a different choice. Maybe we are in a relationship that's not our fullest, passion and truth, or we're in a relationship that may be right for us, but we're showing up in defensive protection and, battling instead of open receptivity. That diminishes the chi. It literally blocks the flow of life force in our body. And it's not that goes and creates disease. It's that it blocks the reparative restoration process. And so the toxins or whatever's in our body take over. The pathogens, we're not clearing Lyme or clearing Epstein-Barr or COVID or whatever, take over the body, and that creates disease. And so, we could battle that cause of disease all day long and, antibiotics and fight cancer and, war on diabetes and like all of that. But it's not actually going to bring health. What will bring health is when we enter the alignment with the truth of who we are. And that can start with something as simple as really being present to breathe the body. When I'm breathing, am I feeling and sensing what's here? Am I present with what's here right now in this moment? And it doesn't mean I gotta go and like do that for an hour and do nothing else and have to just like block everything out. That can be a really helpful way to practice it. But it ultimately becomes my way of showing up in every moment, whether I'm communicating, speaking, or feeding my children or making dinner. There's a lot of interesting things with that because the energy we impart into the food is like the consciousness we're in when we're preparing it. So am I aware of what I'm feeling and governing that? Or am I just like mindlessly making the food and you put that kind of urgency in the food? There's a movie about that. I think it was like Water for Chocolate, where she, or one of the other books by that author, where the woman makes the food and like the family exhibits all the feelings and emotions that she's feeling. It was a book that they created into a movie. Anyway, that, you know, we're creating in every moment. And so we're either in governance, I am here feeling this now moment, or we're in unconscious. And then the programs are creating this now moment, right? So then you live those patterns out as opposed to living your highest and living your truth. So I wanted to share that because that's a great way to understand, you know, how does the body heal itself? Well, there's chi, there's life force. You're connected with source. The source energy that created you creates you. It's still here. It's still creating you. And it can create beauty and bliss and love and light and like amazing resolutions to stuff you thought was impossible. And it can create the opposite of that. And that's how powerful you are. So value that and cherish that and get curious about how you might do it differently. I do have Mind Body TV coming up in 20 minutes live. We'll be in the Mind Body community on Facebook and on my YouTube channel. I'll try to come in and do it on Instagram as well. But I have a guest today, my husband, Dr. Mario Therese Leone, and we're going to be sharing about an upcoming course we're offering called Alive Woman. And one of the main dynamics in the Alive Woman program, which I've found to like assist in embodying my life force fully, you know, is expression. Am I in full expression, or am I like curtailing that and shutting it down? And so in my partnership, that's probably the area where this has shown up the most. If I'm in shutdown and closure, it's going to affect our relationship. If I'm in my openness, it immediately opens the power of that relationship. So we're going to be sharing today about relationships, whether it's a partnership or just generally you have relationships with everything around you, how who you're being affects what shows up in those relationships, and how you can allow your embodiment to create passion and joy and connection and intimacy and power in your relationships. So we'll be talking about that today, and I'll see you in about 20 minutes. For those of you who are going to join, it's recorded, so you can view it later if that suits you. I love you guys. I'm so grateful for our connection and our relationship. And I will see you soon. I'm at drkimd.com. And the Tapping Summit is still going on. If you want to swipe up on this video, it's in my bio on Instagram. There's a few days left of that. It's a really powerful way to let the chi move through the body, right? Because you're tapping the meridian points. We do a lot of EFT tapping in my courses. We will use that in the Alive Woman course. We've used that in the Mind Body Solution for chronic fatigue. So whether you're clearing illness and disease, fatigue, or you're looking to be more fully alive, passionate, expressed, and lived in your life, in your work, in your money, in your relationships, we have the Alive Woman course open now. It's at drkimd.com/alive, and we'll be doing a live workshop with that online course in a couple of weeks. So if you're ready to register for that, it's a great time. If you've already registered for that, you'll also be invited to this live workshop we're doing with it. So I look forward to seeing you there. I love you guys. Thank you. Bye.